One time Buddha is living in a town called Uruvelakappa. There the village chief comes to the Buddha, pays respect to him and asks him, Buddha, can you teach me the origin and cessation of suffering? For this Buddha says that if I had to teach you the origin and cessation of suffering, so that is in the past, that is to say this is how the suffering arose and ceased in the past, certain doubts can come in your mind. Same way, if I had to tell you that this is how the suffering will arise and cease in the future, again some doubts can come in your mind. I will teach you the origin and cessation of suffering right here and right now as you are sitting in front of me, so that there is no doubt in your mind. And then he asked the village chief, see, in this town of Uruvelakappa, for some of the people, if some punishment is given, like an imprisonment or like a death sentence or fine or something like that is given, will it affect you? He says, yeah, definitely for some people, if such punishment is given, it will definitely affect me and it will create lot of suffering for me. Same way, Buddha asks, for some other people, if such a punishment is given, would it not affect you? Yes, he says, yeah, for some other people, if such punishment is given, it would not at all affect me. And now Buddha asks the village chief, why is it for some people it affects you while for others it doesn't affect you? And then for which the village chief says that for some of the people I have love and desire. For those people, if such punishment is given, it would definitely affect me. While on the other hand, on some people I do not have love and desire. For such people, if such punishment is given, it would not at all affect me. Now Buddha says, now the same principle can be applied for all the instances when you suffered in the past. Now if you look at whenever you suffered, you will notice that the suffering arose because of the desire you had. The love and desire you had on something or some person. Same way in the future, whenever you are going to suffer, suffering is going to arise because of the desire and the love that you have on something or some person. So this is how you can understand that the origin of suffering is desire, he says. For which the village chief is very impressed and he says, it's so true. When I look back at my own life, whenever I had suffering, it was because of the love and desire that I had. And I can also foresee that whenever in the future, if I'm going to suffer, it is because of the very same thing. It is all rooted in the love and desire that I have. Then the village chief says that I have a son called Shiravasi. This guy Shiravasi lives far away outside the town. In the morning when I wake up, I'm really worried about whether Shiravasi is okay or not. So I had to send somebody to check on Shiravasi. Till that person comes back and tells me that Shiravasi is fine, he is okay, my heart is filled with lot of stress and tension. For which now Buddha says, now for your son Shiravasi, if such a punishment is given, like a death sentence or like a imprisonment, would it affect you? And the village chief says, oh, my whole life will turn upside down. I'll get into deep depression if something like that happens. Then Buddha says, see, like that also you can understand, wherever you have put your love and desire, that is the origin of suffering. And now third, Buddha asks, now for Shiravasi's mother, that is a village chief's wife, did you have any love and desire for her before seeing her? Of course, how can he have love or desire before he has even known that person? So he says that I never had any love or desire before seeing her or before hearing about her. But he says, did you develop this love and desire only after seeing her and knowing her? He says, yeah, after seeing and knowing her only, I started developing this love and desire for her. Now Buddha asks, now if such a punishment is given, would it affect you? The village chief says, of course, my whole life will go upside down if such a punishment is given to my wife, and I'll fall into great depression. So this third instance is also very beautiful, because uh, before, for the very same person, if such punishment was given before he had put that love and desire, it wouldn't have affected him at all. But after seeing that person, after knowing and putting that love and affection, now if such punishment is given to that very same person, it would make his life, he says, upside down, and he'll fall into depression. So this is a very beautiful teaching where Buddha says that all the sadness and misery arises from, it's all rooted in desire. It's a beautiful teaching, because just like how we would probably go to a doctor and ask, why do I get COVID, and the doctor has to explain, this is how COVID comes and this is how it will go. The same way Buddha also tells us what is the root cause of suffering, where does suffering arise from, and also when it ceases. So it's a beautiful teaching. So I have pasted the entire teaching below, and I also put a link to the free book. I hope you find it inspiring and helpful for your life. So happy to share Buddha's teaching with you.